Hey, welcome back to Score on Business. Remember to check out scorenashville.org. So, our next guest, Andy Bailey, is a serial entrepreneur who spends the majority of his time coaching other entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, and teams to grow dynamic businesses that focus on people, strategy, execution, and cash. And thanks for being here, Andy.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Pete.
Yeah. So, what have you found in common with the clients that you work with?
So I was thinking about this the other day, and I think entrepreneurs, business leaders, owners of companies in general have a very tough time communicating clearly their vision. Yeah. So either they don't understand it clearly, and they certainly, and myself included, I'm an entrepreneur as well, and it's like a movie in our head. If I'd seen Gone with the Wind and you'd never seen Gone with the Wind, and I set you down and said, let me tell you about this great movie, right? You would go, oh, no, that doesn't sound like such a great movie. Yeah, we're just really bad at having this video film that plays in our head and getting that communicated to other human beings who we need to understand it. Right. Another way in the book we talk about this. And
in the book, this is no try, only do.
Perfect, yes.
Yes, no try, only do. Tell us a bit about it.
So I wrote this about my own personal journey.
Okay. Because you started this after being an entrepreneur for a long time.
Yeah, sold my company in 2011, decided to go out and help other companies do the exact same things that we had done in our own business.
Okay. Okay, so
let me finish that point, because I think one of the very first things I talk about in the book is if you put together a puzzle, the first thing that you do when you put together a puzzle is what?
The corners.
You actually look at the picture on the box first. Fair? Right.
Yeah.
I ask that question all the time, and people always say the corners. Yeah. You know, I flip them all over. Whatever the answer is, rarely does anybody ever say, I look at the picture on the box.
Right.
But imagine having to put together a puzzle without knowing what the end result should look like, the picture on the box. And we even many times will put the box right here and, go back and forth. Yeah. And I think business, and the owners of businesses, the entrepreneurs, they got to get the picture that's on that box very clear themselves, so that their people can put those puzzle pieces together rapidly. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Yeah, I can see where I've struggled with that.
Totally. And we work with companies to take what's in someone's head and get it onto a single piece of paper over a time period, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 1 quarter, every 2 weeks, every single day. What is it supposed to look like? And then get that communicated to an organization.
Yeah, and so with your organization, you all are not just business coaches. You have actually taken a process that worked for you and kind of codified it, if you will, and that's what you all teach.
That's correct.
Can you just tell us a bit quickly about that?
Sure. So I was in the wireless telecommunications business, beepers, two-way radios, cell phones, etc. And in 2004, I met a guy named Vern Harnish, and he wrote a book at the time called Rockefeller Habits, based in John D. Rockefeller principles. And it was essentially an operating system. And he had taken the best from all these different gurus and put it into this book. It's an operating system. Like, go do this, and things will be easier for you in business. And as we've talked about, business is hard already. Why make it harder?
Exactly.
And I adopted those practices in my own company and saw tremendous change. So, coming out of my own business in 2011, after selling it successfully, I wanted to go help other entrepreneurs do that. The challenge was the methodologies are in the book, but how you implement the methodologies is not really written or practiced. So that's what we did at Petra, was come up with what is the systematic approach to implementation of what he has.
Oh, the execution is
that's
everything.
Totally everything.
Okay, so we've discussed that being an entrepreneur is hard. There is no doubt about that. What can leaders do to make it just a bit easier?
Clarity is one, so get that very, very clear. The other thing is, once you clearly understand what you want your business to be in whatever time frame, picture on the puzzle box, so to speak, we then have to get the team members to align around that. So talking about that vision on a regular basis, making sure that they are really, really clear on it, and then they need to understand what their role is in making that happen. through key performance indicators that have alignment to the targets and metrics of the organization, and teaching them how they align to it.
Right.
We work with companies all the time, and we go on the floor, and people have no idea how a business even makes money. They show up every day, they do their job, they go home, but they don't know how the business makes money and how they fit into that particular puzzle. So that's really, really key. Get the clarity right. Teach your people about what it is it's supposed to be, and make sure that they have a stake in the outcome.
That sounds good. Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.